Hey there, it's Nikole Babb, news reporter for the Butler County Times-Gazette. Welcome to our 5 Questions, 5 Answers series, and thank you so much for being a part of it. This week, I'm interviewing Phil Benedict, Executive Director of the Dorado Chamber of Commerce. I chose to interview Phil because he has great relationships with the businesses of El Dorado and can represent their voices and their needs, right?
Correct.
Phil, tell me a little bit about yourself and your role that your organization plays with our community.
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm a retired aerospace manager, president of some companies in the aerospace industry, did a lot of buying and selling of companies, and a lot of presentations to global audiences around the world at conferences that had a lot to do with aviation information. So after retirement, it wasn't any fun staying at home, and so I was looking for something to do. The Andover Chamber gave me some experience being on their board, and then when El Dorado came available, they asked me if I would do it, and I said yeah for a couple of months, and now here we are 3 years later, and I'm enjoying myself. It uses a lot of the skills from a business perspective that I had, so this has been a lot of fun and very enjoyable to be a part of this community and to serve in this way.
Well, I think you do a great job, Phil. I think you really synchronize the community together, bring together with people with meetings, and highlight the businesses in a really good way. And you're a great resource for businesses as well. So thank you.
Yeah.
Of course. So how can you describe, or how would you describe the El Dorado Chamber of Commerce's mission for anybody that isn't familiar with that?
Well, our mission that we try to practice every day is to develop and enhance the economic vitality of the El Dorado business community. And we do that through education, advocacy, relationship development, and just trying to bring people together, people who don't even know about each other, and start networking and start promoting their businesses. We have several businesses here in town that are corporately owned. You know them on the TV. But we're really lucky that we have several small business, entrepreneurial businesses that need that promotion, they need that help, they need the chamber to help them into the community and make people aware of what they're doing and what they can provide our community members, what they can provide for our other businesses. One of the best things that the chamber can do is help the businesses do business with other businesses here in the community and in the county itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really hit the nail on the head when you said businesses supporting businesses within the community. I think without that support,
right,
it's not really a community, right?
Right.
Again, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Butler County Times-Gazette's our goal this year for 2024 is to understand our role in the community like never before. And so our five questions, 5 answers series is an opportunity for us to ask the same 5 questions to individual community leaders just like you throughout the country, in all of our platforms and all of our different papers. So we chose you again because you represent the business sector of El Dorado in our eyes, and we're looking for the different perspectives everyone will bring to our project. Our first question is the most important.
Okay.
So what are the most pressing challenges facing our community at a local level right now?
Well, I think we have a few, and certainly growth is one of those, but doing growth the right way. We have an enormous amount of land to the west side that we want to get sold to and bring in some manufacturing capabilities. And that's what Develop El Dorado is totally focused on. And so anything we can do to support them, we will. But I think from a community standpoint, it's not just attracting a manufacturing capability, but it's doing it and beginning it the right way. We have housing issues here that we have been getting more housing, but we need to continue down that path. Workforce issues. We need to get a lot of our workforce here in town back to work, making them want to work. And then who will we have here? Who can we attract to be a part of these new businesses that we hope to attract? We have a number of locations here in town that are empty, really good office spaces or really good capabilities that somebody could bring into town, even as a satellite office from Wichita or Emporia or Kansas City. So we need to do a better job of getting people to know that. Homelessness is an issue that we need to attack. We can't keep kicking that can down the road, but we have to begin to develop a business solution for that, so that we don't continue to say, yeah, we need it, but don't put it near me. We need to develop that business solution. We have those capabilities, especially in our neighboring communities and in Wichita, so we need to explore that. I think for some of those things, that's really the issues that we face here in El Dorado.
And speaking of those challenges, workforce growth and developing out west, I think they really connect.
They do.
But how do you think those impact different demographics within El Dorado?
Well, I don't know that El Dorado has the workforce today to support major manufacturing. I think we have a great workforce that helps and is very focused in at BG and at Valmont and at the refinery. We've got quite a workforce, but some of that comes in from out of town as well. So we just have to be able to expand that and make El Dorado an inviting community where people want to live, even if they work from home. Make it an attractive place for that, because there's things here to do. We're close to the lake. We've got great parks. Make people more aware that this is a great place to live. It's not as rural as you may think, but it's still not close. It's not Wichita from a city standpoint, but there's a lot of great features associated with El Dorado that I think people need to know more about.
Has your organization, or how has your organization done to address those challenges?
I think we address them all the time, but it's not just our voice. It's the voice of our businesses that need to be heard. And so we don't try to do that individually, but we try to bring people together to voice their concerns and voice their solutions. And as an advocate for them, I can certainly do that. The chamber can do that, but we need those inputs from them to any of the challenges that we have here in town. Sure, I have my thoughts, 40 years in the aerospace business, but it needs to be from people here today. A lot's changed in this world, a lot's changed here in El Dorado over the course of time, and I think we need to hear from our young professionals, that young professional organization that we've started here. We need to hear from them, because they're going to be our leaders tomorrow, and let's get them moving in that direction. They can be developing solutions for whatever issue that we have here in El Dorado.
Okay, well, thank you. We'll move on to our next question, and it is: considering the evolving media landscape, what role do you see local newspapers like the Gazette playing in the community 5 years from now?
I think, first of all, the Times-Gazette, Butler County Times-Gazette is back. People, when I got here, said, gosh, I wish we had a newspaper again. And it's back. And it's back bigger and better than ever, it appears to me. That's the one place people can go to get all of the information that they want to hear about, whether it be news, sports, events. They can't just go to the chamber newsletter or to the city's website, because they're very focused on different things. The paper has evolved and will continue to evolve to cover a number of different areas that people find interesting here in town. It's physically something they can hold and read, and it's also available digitally. So I think just those different ways of providing the news, providing advertising opportunities for our local businesses, I think that's where the paper is going to evolve into. And you're starting to do such a great job of bringing in outside of Butler County news, and I think that excites people. And I think, wow, this is a one-stop shop almost. So I think that's where it's headed.
Well, thank you. I think you and I have the same vision there, and bringing the paper to be a one-stop shop for sure. That's my goal. It takes a little work, it takes some hard work.
Absolutely.
And maybe a bigger staff in the future, but we definitely want to strive to be the one-stop shop for everyone, because it is hard. As a young woman that's grown up with social media and technology, it's
Right.
hard to keep track of everybody's social media, everybody's newsletters, everybody's website. So it's really important in especially rural news, to have a one-stop and one point to go to for.
And this community is so diverse in terms of ages.
Yeah.
there's still a lot of people here that grew up here and maybe aren't as technically capable of bringing up news on their phone or even on a computer.
Sure.
And yet we have the young crowd that can show everybody just how easy it is. And so I think it's a very diverse crowd, and the paper has the ability to reach everybody.
So are there any emerging trends that come to your mind that you think the local newspaper should be aware of and that we should embrace?
I think there's a lot of people want to take on information in little snips, you know. So the way the technology allows you to just broadcast one thing and then it takes them someplace else to get the bigger story. I think that's certainly an emerging trend. We can only take on so much at one time. Having a physical paper allows us to do that over a period of time. But I think the paper has the capability of informing people about something that's important right now. And I think that's certainly an emerging trend that we've already seen happen, but not in El Dorado. Right. So I think, or even in Butler County. So I think that would be a huge move forward in the trend that people, how they want information provided.
Okay, thank you. Do you see the role of your organization changing as time goes on at all before we move on?
I do see it changing a little. Again, I don't think that our mission will change at all. I think it's here for a reason. Chambers are here in communities for a reason, and that's to bring people together from a business perspective, networking capabilities, help promoting business. I don't think that'll change. I think the tools that we use, the partnerships that we evolve will change. And I think the chamber and the newspaper, as an example, need to get together more and partner more in distributing information, because it's yet another vehicle for how people absorb information, and the chamber needs to be able to do that, but not reinvent the wheel, because you guys are at the forefront of that, and we need to adopt and use your information and make it available to our chamber members as another distribution mechanism.
Okay, all right. Moving on to our next question. In your opinion, what role should our newspaper play in promoting civic participation and community involvement?
Yeah, it's great that you asked that question, because I think we have several things going on here in town throughout the year, Gold Fest being one. Mm-hmm. I think the paper could help certainly advise people as to how to get tickets. Do I need a ticket? Where are certain entertainment portions of that event going to occur, and when? The city does a good job with that, but not everybody looks at the city website. So the newspaper, again, is that place, I think, that everybody can share and find that information out, whether it's Gold Fest, whether it's information coming out of the chamber, some event we have, or experience El Dorado has. We're also here at the chamber going to begin to look at uses of the Performing Arts Center. We have this beautiful place and we don't use it. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to team up with a promoter out of Oklahoma to try to bring in performing acts here. And we need the paper to help us promote that, digitally as well as on paper. So we're going to need to promote El Dorado and bringing outside visitors in to eat at our restaurants, to visit our museums, and to go to the Performing Arts Center to see whatever show that they've elected to buy a ticket for. So the paper will have a big play in how we promote that.
Our next question, what community events or activities do you believe our newspaper should cover to better connect with our residents?
Yeah, well, again, Gold Fest is certainly one of those.
Yes.
I also think things like the turnaround at the refinery. When is that going to happen? Is it a big one or a small one? What are the effects on the community going to be? Because we need to let our restaurants know. Mm-hmm. There's going to be some people showing up. You better be ready. There's going to be other things. The Oil Museum. You may want to get the word out. So maybe guys who are here for the turnaround may want to come visit you. be ready for that. So I think the paper can really serve a purpose there. But I think, as I said, we have many corporate stores here, corporate organizations here for restaurants as an example, but we got great small entrepreneurial organizations and shops here as well. And I think giving them another avenue to advertise and utilizing the paper to help them advertise their business, make it people aware of it. It starts here. You know, it's all well, we can go to Wichita and invite people in, but even advertising our capabilities and our businesses here, the paper can do the best job of that. The chamber can do it through social media and on our Monday morning news, but nobody reaches people like the Times-Gazette, the Butler County Times-Gazette can, both on paper and digitally. And I think that's the value you're going to have in this community and this county, because it doesn't just need to be for El Dorado, but we've got Augusta, we've got Andover, we've got, Eureka, which is outside the county, but we've got people that can come from all over, but they don't know these businesses exist a lot of times, and they don't know the oil museum exists, and that it's worthwhile to bring your children to El Dorado to learn about it, and coming to the various community events like Gold Fest. It's just, the paper is the one that can do it the best.
And is, in your eyes, do you think there are some different ways to tailor coverage to ensure that there is inclusivity?
I think that just reporting it the way it is, who this is for, who it's targeted to, is the best way. And I don't think that anything targeted needs to be done at all in terms of inclusivity.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Our last question. Well, second to last question. Our last fifth question, we'll say. Considering the current economic landscape, how can our newspaper support local businesses and contribute to economic growth in the community, which is a huge topic that we're talking about right now?
It is.
So a good theme.
And El Dorado has been affected by the global economic climate, the state climate, and our community and our country. I mean, and it's been a rough couple of years. And so again, I just think that helping those smaller businesses with advertising capabilities that's affordable, that can reach the target audiences, and even tailoring it to their needs specifically. One size doesn't fit all at the chamber, nor will it at the newspaper. So I think it's just targeting those opportunities for those businesses to get the biggest bang for their buck when they advertise. And it's also telling their story. We have so many great entrepreneurs in this town. Telling their story needs to be told. Whether they're young entrepreneurs or they're people my age. Learning about Harold at the Walters Flowers, was an amazing story. Learning about Josh at Willie's is an amazing story, and Caitlin at Bruco, and I'm sure there's many other stories. Danny out at the auto store, Dutch Miller. People don't know him. People don't know his wife Deanna, and they're new to our community, and they're doing a great job at Dutch Miller, but people don't know about them that much. And they're they're on the only game in town when it comes to new cars anyway, and so we need to know more about them. If we know more about them, people will tend to do business locally. You want people to shop local, we need to know more about those people. And I think that becomes an inviting environment then for people to go out and shop local because we know more about them.
Okay, I love that answer. Well, thank you again for sharing and being a part of our 5 answer series. Before we leave, what question can we ask the community in our survey that's upcoming that your organization would like to know the answer to, if any?
Well, our biggest question right now is how can the chamber provide more value?
Okay, well, you heard it. How can the chamber provide more value to your business? That's it for this week's interview. You can catch us next week as we interview a different sector in our community. And please help us spread this conversation. You can share this video and let us know what you think about our conversation on our Facebook page, or you can comment on the video and furthermore message us. And thank you again.